If you thought the £150 warm home discount would just turn up on your bill, this is where the shock begins. In 2026, many households are checking their account and finding no credit at all. Not because they do not need help, and not always because they broke a rule. In many cases, the real problem is that one hidden detail did not match at the right time. If you rely on clear updates like this to avoid losing money by mistake, subscribe now, because small rule changes and missed letters can cost far more than most people expect. The warm home discount sounds simple when people talk about it. It is often described as a £150 cut on your electricity bill. That makes many viewers think it works like a normal payment, or that everyone on a low income gets it automatically. But that is not how it feels in real life when the credit does not appear. People start calling the supplier, then the supplier points to government rules, then the government points to account checks, and the person stuck in the middle is the one who still has to pay the bill. That is why so many rejections feel so unfair. A person can be struggling, can be older, can be careful with paperwork, and can still miss out. The hard truth is that need alone is not always enough. This scheme depends on records, dates, account details, and whether the right information was linked in the right way. When even one part goes wrong, the result can be a rejection, a delay, or complete silence. Now here is the part most people miss. The warm home discount is not just about being poor, being older, or having a high bill. It is also about how your situation appears on official records. That means your address matters. The name on the bill matters. The type of benefit in payment matters. The timing matters. Even a house move, a change of supplier, or an old account name can create a problem that is not obvious until it is too late. For some people, the trouble starts with a very common misunderstanding. They believe that because they got the discount before, they will get it again. That can be a dangerous assumption. A previous award does not always protect you in a later year. Your benefit can change. Your property details can change. Your supplier can change. The person named on the electricity account can change. And once that chain is broken, the system may no longer treat your household the same way. Think about how this plays out in normal life. A pensioner moves closer to family after a health problem. The bills are put into a son's name for convenience. A carer handles the online account. The home is still cold, the income is still tight, the need is still real, but now the records do not line up as neatly as before. This is where the real problem starts. The scheme may look at one set of details, the supplier may hold another, and the household can suddenly fall into a gap. Have you ever had a government letter or energy account issue caused by one tiny mismatch in your name, address, or dates? If you have, leave a comment saying record error, because it helps other viewers see how common this really is. Another reason people get rejected is that they do not understand the difference between getting help automatically and having to follow a process. Some viewers hear one person say, "I did not need to do anything," and assume that will be true for everyone. Then another person is told to respond to a letter, confirm details, or deal with their supplier directly. That difference causes confusion, and confusion leads to missed chances. If you think no action is needed when action actually is needed, the deadline can pass before you even realize you were meant to do something. And deadlines matter more than many people think. A government letter that sits unopened for a week can turn into a missed response window. An email sent to an old account can go unseen. A text message can be ignored because it looks like spam. A call can be missed because unknown numbers are not answered. By the time the household realizes that the message was genuine, the time allowed to fix the issue may already be gone. That is when people say, "But I never knew." Sadly, the system does not always slow down just because the message was missed. There is also the problem of household changes that seem small but matter a lot. Maybe the claimant was on one benefit, then moved to another. Maybe a partner reached pension age. Maybe someone started living at the address who changed the makeup of the household. Maybe the person paying the electricity bill is not the person receiving the qualifying benefit. These things sound like details, but in benefit-linked support, details can decide everything. But that is not the full story. Rejection does not always mean a household was never entitled. Sometimes it means the information used was incomplete, old, or not connected properly. That is a very different situation. One is a genuine no. The other is a case where the person may need to challenge, check, or update something. The trouble is that many people feel so defeated by the word rejected that they stop there. They assume the door is closed even when there may still be something to review. This is especially important for people who have moved home recently. A move can create more than one risk at the same time. Your supplier may have changed. The electricity account may have started under a shortened version of your name. The address format may look different on different systems. One record may show a flat number, another may not. One may show a postcode with a space problem. That may sound silly, but when systems rely on matching records, silly things can become costly things. And then there is the issue of tenancy and bill responsibility. Some people live in supported housing. Some have rent that includes energy. Some use site owners or building managers. Some are in park homes, annexes, or shared setups. In those cases, it may not be as simple as having a standard electricity account in your own name. Here is where many people get caught out. They assume the help works the same for every home, but the way the bill is set up can affect how support is handled and whether the household can be linked correctly. If this sounds like your home situation, share this video with one family member or carer today. Sometimes the person who sorts the paperwork is the one who spots the problem first. Now pay close attention to this next part because this is where a lot of quiet rejections happen. Some people are not rejected loudly, they are rejected silently. There is no dramatic letter saying no in big bold words. There is just no credit on the bill when they expected one. Weeks pass, winter costs rise. The household assumes it is delayed. Then later they find out the award never went through at all. That is one reason this issue feels bigger in 2026. Not every problem arrives with a clear warning label. So what should viewers check first if they are worried? Start with the basics that sound almost too simple. Is the electricity account in the right name? Is the address on the supplier account exactly current? Has there been a recent move? Has the qualifying benefit changed? Have you received any letter, email, or text asking you to confirm details? Did you ignore something because it looked suspicious? And if you do have a letter, read every line slowly. Many people skim the first part and miss the one sentence that tells them what action is needed. Also remember that the warm home discount is usually applied to the electricity bill, not handed over like cash in your pocket. That matters because some households keep watching their bank account and never check the energy account properly. Others assume the supplier will show it clearly on the next bill, but the wording may not jump out. If your account is online, log in and look through credits and statements. If you do not use online accounts, ask for a paper statement or call and ask the supplier to explain whether any scheme credit has been applied. Now let's talk about phone calls, because this is another place where people lose ground. When someone calls the supplier, they often explain the whole story first. They talk about low income, poor health, age, and rising costs. All of that is real and important, but the call handler may still go straight back to the account details. That can feel cold, but it tells you something useful. If the account details are wrong or incomplete, the emotional part of the story does not fix the technical part. The quickest progress often comes from checking names, dates, address records, and whether the household received any request for information. This does not mean viewers should accept everything they are told on the first call. Sometimes the first answer is too simple. A person may be told, "You are not eligible," when the real issue is that the advisor can only see limited information. Ask calm, direct questions. Ask whether the account name matches the records. Ask whether there was a missing response. Ask whether any letter was issued. Ask whether there is a review path. Ask what exactly caused the rejection, not just whether one happened. The clearer the question, the better the chance of getting a useful answer. This is the detail that changes everything. A vague rejection leaves you powerless. A specific rejection gives you something to work with. Not eligible is broad. The bill is not in the qualifying person's name is specific. No matching record found is specific. Response not received by deadline is specific. Once you know the exact reason, you stop guessing. And when people stop guessing, they are far better placed to fix what can be fixed and accept what cannot. If you have ever been told computer says no without a clear reason, type explain why in the comments. The more people push for clear answers, the less likely they are to miss help in silence. Another group at risk is carers and adult children who manage things for someone else. They often do a great job, but they can still be caught out because the bill, the benefit, the letter, and the phone contact may all sit with different people. The mother gets the pension letter. The daughter handles the supplier login. The son updates the bank. The carer answers the post on some days but not others. No one person sees the full picture. That creates gaps, and support schemes do not wait for families to join the dots. There is also a trust problem in 2026 that cannot be ignored. People are warned every day about scams, fake texts, fake energy calls, and fake government messages. That warning is right and necessary. But there is an awkward side effect. Real messages can now be ignored because they look suspicious. A person may delete a genuine email, refuse a real call, or throw away a letter because they are trying to stay safe. So the lesson is not trust everything. The lesson is to verify properly, use official phone numbers from known bills or letters, log in through trusted websites you already use. Do not click random links, but do not ignore every message either. Now here is the part many people do not want to hear. Some rejections happen because the household was never within the rules for that year, even though the household still feels financially stretched. That is painful, but it matters. When support schemes have set conditions, real hardship does not always equal automatic entitlement. This is why viewers should not rely on just one form of help. If the warm home discount does not come through, it may still be worth checking council tax support, pension credit, attendance allowance, help from the local council, supplier hardship funds, or other targeted support. Missing one help route should not stop you checking the others. At the same time, a rejection can be a warning sign that something bigger needs attention. For example, if a household thought it was on a qualifying benefit but later finds it is not, that could mean a missed claim somewhere else. Some older people are entitled to support but never claimed it. Some carers do not realize how one benefit links to other forms of help. Some people assume a small private pension means they will get nothing, when that is not always true. So if the warm home discount problem exposes a gap, use that moment to review the wider picture instead of only fighting one battle. This is where a calm checklist mindset helps. Do not start from panic. Start from evidence. Gather your latest electricity bill, any supplier letters, any message about the scheme, and recent benefit letters if you have them. Check names, address, and dates. Write down what changed in the last year. Did you move, change supplier, change tariff, change benefit, add a partner to the household, put the bill into someone else's name? Small life changes often explain big support problems. Once you see the timeline, the rejection starts to make more sense. If someone in your family always says, "I thought it would sort itself out," send them this video now. Waiting quietly is one of the biggest reasons support gets lost. Let's talk about the emotional side for a moment, because that matters too. Many older people feel embarrassed when they have to chase help. They worry they sound difficult. They do not want to sit on hold. They do not want to explain their situation to 3 different people, so they delay. Then the weather gets colder, the bills keep coming, and the stress gets worse. If that is you, please hear this clearly. Asking a clear question about a missing £150 credit is not making a fuss. It is protecting your home budget. And if you are helping a parent, partner, or neighbor, do not assume they will tell you when something is wrong. A lot of people stay quiet because they think nothing can be done, or because they do not want to burden anyone. A simple question can uncover a lot. Ask them if they were expecting the credit. Ask if any letter arrived. Ask whose name is on the electricity account. Ask if they switched supplier. Ask if they ignored any message because they thought it was fake. Those few questions can save hours of confusion later. Now pay close attention to this next part. If a rejection was caused by a mismatch or missing response, speed matters. The longer a person waits, the harder it can become to prove what happened, especially if the issue was tied to a set period. Write down dates of calls. Keep names of advisors if you get them. Keep copies of letters. If a supplier says one thing and a later advisor says another, your notes become very useful. People often think record keeping is only for legal fights. It is not. It is for ordinary households trying to stop mixed messages from turning into dead ends. There is another trap that catches people every year, assuming the supplier will explain everything clearly without being asked the right way. Sometimes the information is there, but buried in general wording. A line like, "You do not meet the scheme criteria," does not tell you enough. That is why follow-up questions matter. Was it a data match issue? Was it a billing name issue? Was there a missing letter response? Was the account not eligible in the way the household assumed? The more precise the reason, the more useful your next step becomes. For some viewers, the best action is not argument, but correction. Update the account. Correct the address. Make sure the right person is linked. Keep future records clean. For others, the best action is challenge. If a letter was answered and not recorded, say so. If a bill name was changed in time, say so. If a message never arrived, ask how the contact was supposedly sent. If the answer still feels wrong, ask what review or complaint route exists. Calm persistence is often stronger than anger. Anger is understandable, but clarity gets results faster. And please do not let one rejection push you into unsafe shortcuts. When people are worried about heat and bills, they can become easy targets for scams that promise quick grants or special payments. Be very careful with anyone who asks for bank details, card details, or payment to unlock support. Genuine help does not require you to pay a fee to receive it. Stay cautious, but stay active. Verify properly. Use known contact details. Keep notes. And do not hand money to strangers just because you are desperate for an answer. Here is where many people get caught out again. They focus only on the £150 and miss the wider warning. If your household is that close to the edge, one missed support payment tells you your budget may already be under strain. That means now is the right time to review direct debits, check whether the tariff is still suitable, ask what support the supplier offers, and look at the other help you may qualify for. The goal is not just to chase one credit. The goal is to make sure one missing credit does not turn into a winter crisis. Have you seen someone lose support simply because they missed a letter or the bill was in the wrong name? Leave a short comment with the word missed or mismatch. Your story may help another viewer notice the same risk in time. So what is the big lesson from all this? The Warm Home Discount is not only about need, it is also about records, timing, and how your household appears on paper. That is why thousands can feel shut out, even when their bills are high and their income is low. The system does not look into your kitchen and see the cold. It looks at linked information, dates, and account details. That may feel harsh, but once you understand it, you can act smarter instead of only feeling shocked. If you are worried right now, do not wait for the perfect moment. Check the electricity account. Check recent letters. Check who is named. Check whether your benefit position changed. Check whether any message asked for action. If you help someone older, ask them these questions today, not next week. And if the answer you get is vague, push politely for the exact reason. Specific answers open doors. Vague answers leave people stuck. The worst thing you can do is assume silence means everything is fine. In cases like this, silence can mean a missed message, a broken record match, or a rejection that no one explained properly. The sooner you catch that, the better your chance of sorting the problem or finding another form of help before the pressure gets worse. That is the part that really matters. So remember, the key message: a missing £150 credit is not always random. It is often a clue. A clue that something did not match, something was missed, or something changed. If you treat it like a clue instead of just bad luck, you give yourself a better chance of fixing the issue and protecting the rest of your support. Subscribe if you want calm, plain English updates that help you spot these problems early. And share this with a pensioner, carer, or low-income household who might still be waiting and wondering where the £150 went.